Hi, I'm so glad you're back. Let's dive right into the evening routine. Now, the whole point of these two next steps to plan and prepare is to set you up for success for tomorrow. All right, the very first step, make a plan. The best way to combat overeating and thus lose weight is to plan everything that you're going to eat the next day. I suggest 12, 24 hours in advance. Don't make it the hour before. All right, guys? And write it down in your journal. Be reasonable, be specific. By reasonable, I don't mean don't try to overhaul your whole diet in one day. Okay? I often ask people to tell me, like, the you that's lost all the weight you want to lose, how does she eat? That's your ideal plan. Now, you don't then use that as how you're going to eat tomorrow. That's not how this works. You are going to just make one little change, a 1% change to make it better tomorrow, to get it a little closer to that ideal. And here's the cool thing about that. I bet the ideal you eats more vegetables and drinks more water. So you don't even have to start with taking things away. Start with adding first. And that can kind of help our brain so we don't feel so deprived. Now, when you plan, you don't necessarily have to put quantities. You can if you want to. But be sure that you're planning enough food to fuel your body. God gave us food as fuel. Do not restrict your food so much that you do not have enough fuel for your body. Assign times to eat. And I ask you to do this for two reasons. One, because grazing all day and having no breaks from food throughout the day is actually not very good for our bodies. Make sure you have some breaks. I suggest having two bigger meals, maybe three. And I don't suggest snacking in between. And then also the reason that you assign times is because it forces you to look at your schedule and be like, how much time do I have to make supper tonight between running the kids and work and then getting home? So it helps you see time crunches, events, or possible schedule changes that might come up so that you can adapt what you're going to eat to those things. Here's the reason why this works. We never plan on overeating unless we don't have a plan. When we don't have a plan and we're hungry, or when the kids are saying, "Mom, when's supper?" we just make quick, rash decisions. We do not make our best decisions in those moments. And so, what a plan does is it brings more awareness around food instead of always just falling into this automatic mode of what's ever easiest. Because here's the thing, losing weight isn't always easy. There's some discomfort to it, and the discomfort might just even be making supper, chopping some vegetables. But if you don't have a plan for that, you're less likely to actually do those things. All right. This is the verse I love, my favorite verse. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. It's Jeremiah 29:11. Now, God makes plans. We're created in God's image. There's a good reason why we need plans, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But we're not perfect. We're not going to make perfect plans, but they are super helpful. All right. So let's talk about preparing for tomorrow. This goes hand in hand with planning. The reason you plan is to make it easier for tomorrow, to know what you're going to do. But now, there's going to be all these little obstacles along the way. So why not prepare for those obstacles, find solutions for those obstacles, so then you follow through on your plan easier. So make sure you have all the food available that's on your plan. If you don't, do you have time to run to the grocery store? Are there things that need to be chopped, cooked, prepared ahead of time so supper is quick and easy? But this doesn't even just go with food. This also goes with your morning routine. Pull out your Bible, pull out a Bible study. Make sure you have your verse written down. Set your alarm, set your shoes out. Know what movement you're going to be doing. Put a glass of water in the fridge the night before. All these really, really simple little things are so easy to do and so easy not to do. There are also little obstacles. Here's the deal. When you plan, when you prepare, you use a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. And this part of the brain has the ability to reason and make good decisions for your future. It understands consequences, the consequences of not doing what you want to be doing. So using this part of your brain helps you figure out obstacles ahead of time. It helps you understand the consequences of what's going to happen if you don't get up and move, if you don't eat the food that's on your plan. And using that part of your brain will help you follow through in the moment better. So we're going to use it as much as we can so that in the moment it's stronger and can override that limbic part of our brain, which is the other part of the brain that wants to kick in and go into the automatic mode. Okay? Here is my verse for this. It's the sluggard does not plow in season, so at harvest time he looks but finds nothing. Proverbs 20, verse 4. I am not calling you guys sluggards. Do not take that the wrong way. But what this verse does tell us is that planning and preparing then helps us reap the harvest of weight loss that you are so looking forward to. All right, guys, that's all for today. Keep up, be consistent, make these small little changes, little bits at a time, and just follow through on them. And guess what? I'll be in your inbox again soon talking about the next one.